Hey, Scoot, I was just watching Robocop, and I was thinking, that's a really cool film which has got a lot of important modern themes which really transcends the need to remake it. I mean, it's timeless. It works today as much as it ever has, and really any need to remake it would just be a cheap commercial crass product placement fest. Hey, I'm Scott, this is Scoo, we're the film crew. We're coming at you with a review of 2014's Robocop.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Okay, let's talk quickly about the look of Robocop. What were your thoughts on his design?
Okay, well, when it comes to a title character like this, it's got to be a major factor in the whole thing. We've had the original Robocop, that design was pretty much kept throughout the 3 theatrical movies and was replicated in a couple of TV shows that he had. This new Robocop is definitely building on that. It's modernized a little bit, but essentially largely the same. One's the silver and black, which is very reminiscent in terms of the color scheme and the overall styling of the original, but very much modernized to look more like what people expect nowadays. And then they have the tactical black sort of look, which I didn't hate.
Let's go with black.
The biggest problem I had with the design on this one is it felt like a guy in a suit rather than a robotic guy.
Even though they took him apart,
even
showed
though they
you
took
how
him
he was
apart
all
and
pieced
did all
together.
that, when he was walking around it looked like, oh hey, there's a guy in a suit.
Yeah, acting like he's done mime class like the original.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and part of that was the hand.
Yeah.
For some reason, his hand is human, and there doesn't seem to be any reason for it other than just go, oh look, he's got a human hand.
The heart and soul of this film.
Yeah.
The human element, the elements in there that the audience can connect with. Do you feel like they did enough to make you feel for this main character of Alex Murphy?
I think they did an awful lot in terms of exploring the emotional side of the Robocop concept. There was a long period of time where they're dealing with basically the origin of Robocop. This is something that we probably should mention, in that in the original film it was very much a case of here's Alex Murphy, he's dead, here's Robocop.
A few flashbacks of his family.
A few flashbacks here.
Didn't really get to know them.
Didn't get to know them.
Yeah.
It was a case of that story was very much about a search for identity and him finding himself and rediscovering who he was. Whereas with this one, it was, again, I take it back to Batman Begins, in terms of it was a long, lengthy process of getting to the point where you can say, okay, he's Robocop now. It's interesting to watch, but I personally felt that dragged out for a very long period of time.
Yeah. Well, right through the end, really.
Right through to the end. And, that wasn't helped in that there wasn't really much of a B story going on to keep you interested in the long term, other than this emotional story of Alex and his family, which is great. It's well acted, it's nicely crafted, but in terms of the overall storyline, there's not much else happening.
We're gonna put a man inside a machine.
The actor I was most excited about making a sort of, I guess, a comeback, we haven't seen him in many years, was Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton, the original, well, not the original, the 80s movie Batman.
I'm Batman.
He's just fun to watch.
He is fun to watch. He just sort of slides into a role and just absorbs it and becomes that character.
Totally believable. The big, I don't know if it's even a twist at the end, is that Michael Keaton is the bad guy. But it's not even much of a twist. It's just a case of, we're at least 3/4 of the way through the film. His character has achieved what he wanted, or is very close to, and then decide, well, we're just going to turn Robocop off.
What's happening?
I think the sort of bigger picture overall thing for me was I felt like the world that they lived in, it didn't really necessitate the need for a Robocop. They sort of at times talked about Detroit being this crime-ridden city.
But we didn't see it. It becomes something a little bit like, again, referring to the movies, Tim Burton's Batman versus Nolan's Batman Begins, in terms of it doesn't feel a big mythic world anymore. It feels very real and grounded and only half a heartbeat away from that.
Whatever you do, Don't get shot in the face.
It was sort of unclear to me what his rules of engagement were. There were some times where he would taser dudes and
other times
he'd just
shoot
roll
them.
in and shoot them,
Yeah.
and I'm sort of like, well, I guess he had that bad guy had a gun on him, so is that the rules
For
of
me,
engagement?
that was a
I'm
bit
not
of a
sure.
problem in terms of you didn't necessarily understand, was OCP going to put him out onto the streets as a regular cop anyway? It just seemed a little bit shaky as opposed to, again, the 80s film where it was blatantly clear as to what they were doing because they rolled into a police station. They set him up in a police station. They said, this is, we
and
already
they were
own the
testing him
cops.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your move, creep.
But I mean, they do cover some of the aspects of, does he actually have free will or not? In terms of, the computer takes over when he's in battle so that he thinks that he's telling it what to do, but it's actually it telling him. And, that was an interesting idea, which I thought they were going to make more of, but then they didn't seem to do anything with.
We are going to make a lot of money.
Okay, so a rating out of 10. What do you give
10,
it?
I'm
10 being good,
10
0
being
being not so good.
Not so good. I'm going to go with. I'm going to go 6.5 Robocop soft drink heads.
Ooh.
It's a good film. It's a solid film. It's not a fantastic film. So it's a little bit bright. You can get the same sort of thing pretty much anywhere. But it's not an unattractive package.
Yep, it's true. It wasn't just a throwaway action, non-thinking sort of film. It did deal with some good issues there. The first one was so simple, so linear, which I enjoyed. But this one, I guess, the films these days people expect many layers and levels and things, and that's fine. That was good.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Okay, so that's the view from the film crew. Tell us what your thoughts are in the comments. Leave a video reply. Make sure that you subscribe as well.
Like
give
us,
us thumbs
subscribe.
up. Share us on Facebook. Help us get out there so that we can give you more of what we want to give and what you want from us.
Yep. And we'll see you guys next time with more film reviews, more toy reviews, more game reviews,
and other general nerditry.
Absolutely. See you next time.
See ya.
Bye.